11, and I'm Joanne Brady from Kids Days Out Reviews, and I'm here today with Aly Hodge from Bug, Bird and Bee.
Hello.
Hi, Aly. And Joy from Pink Oddy.
Hello.
And today I think we're going to be talking about what we've done over last week, which for most people in the UK was half term. So we're going to have a little chat about what we did and how we got through it, and if we survived it and got through to the other end intact. So talking of surviving, Joy, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, well, we had quite a lazy week, really. We had a few things scheduled that didn't happen and went wrong a bit. So we had a family wedding, and there was an accident on the motorway. It should have been about 2 hours to get there. It took about 4. But that was nice when we got there, obviously, because it was just a reception. Sorry, thankfully. And then we had Legoland to look forward to. We went to Junior Builders Week. If you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see lots of lovely videos. Yeah, and so that was about it, really. So, yeah.
Okay, Aly, did you want to let us know what exciting things you've been up to?
Well, like Joy, I had lots of things planned. On the Sunday, we went for a long walk up to my mum's. My mum lives on the other side of town, and we're quite lucky. Even though it's quite a big town, we still have got quite a bit of green areas, and we have access to the countryside. So we went on a nice long walk to the countryside. On Monday, we went and saw Shaun the Sheep. Week before half term, me and Joy did a hangout, and we were talking about what films we're going to watch, and Shaun the Sheep was one of the ones that we're going to watch. Then Tuesday happened, and it was kind of, should we have a PJ day? Okay, let's have a PJ. Then Wednesday happened, and it was like, let's have a PJ day. But Thursday we did actually go out because I had to go and get my youngest some new trainers, and we had to get some bits and bobs and that. And I ordered a tabletop game. I'm a bit of a sci-fi and fantasy geek, and for a long time we've been talking about getting into Dungeons and Dragons. Well, my youngest is only 6; she's 7 next month, so it's a bit much for her to get into. So we looked at other geeky board games, and we bought a game called Shelf of Nottingham, which is sort of a role play, deceit, sort of game and strategy, which is really good, and she loved it. She was really good, and we all sort of like put on our medieval disguise, and that, so yeah, that was really good. And then the weekend went pop because my washing machine broke down, and I'm now 4 days without washing machine. My dad fixed it. Lego, hair clips, lots of hair, and 2 socks. Yeah.
Very importantly, though, did the socks match?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just need to clear that up.
First, and that's where the Lego and the hair clips were found, but in the pump was the socks. So yeah, I am now trying to catch up because it's a nice day today of all the washing, but it's going to rain the rest of the week, and then we're having snow back again because we had snow on Monday.
I saw that on Facebook. That was really weird, wasn't it?
It was. We had snow, rain, hail, and sunshine all in a matter of like 5 hours. Mad. What did you do then, Jo?
What did I do? On last Sunday, we got invited to go to Leicestershire as part of Go Leicestershire, the tourist board, and I took my mother-in-law because she was the only one available, bless her, and so me, my mother-in-law, the 4 girls, we all went to Leicester as guests as Go Leicestershire, and we went to Twin Lakes theme park on Sunday, which was good. It was a bit cold, but it stayed dry. It was nice. And we stayed in the Hilton Leicester on Sunday night, which was a bit of a treat for us because we normally, if we're paying for it ourselves, certainly we usually go as cheap as possible. So the Hilton Leicester was really nice. And then we went to the Space Centre on Monday, which was a good decision because it was raining, but then a bad decision because it was raining. Half of Leicester was in National Space Centre, I think, on Monday. It's the first day of half term, and it was absolutely heaving. We had a really good day, but it was so full, it was unbelievable. And then coming back to reality, really, just working a lot. I mean, half term for me is quite a strain because I'm freelance, I work from home, but obviously my client work doesn't stop when the school holidays take over. So we're just kind of battling to sort of get childcare sorted and taking it in turns, who's working, who's not working. And then on Tuesday, a client rang me and said, "Oh, you haven't forgotten about our meeting tomorrow in Leeds, have you?" And I went, "It's next month." And he says, "No, it's tomorrow." And obviously February and March have got the same dates in them, so I didn't twig. I thought it was the 19th of March, it was the 19th of February, and it was like, oh no, so I had to drop everything and bomb up to Leeds for the day, so that was good fun. Apart from that, really just kind of just trying to get through the week without all killing each other, which is just no mean feat, really. Yeah, we had fun. So a trip to Leicester, it was good, just to get out for a couple of days, do something a bit different, and a couple of reviews are up on my blog already, and then the third one I'll be doing this week. I've been me busy.
So is the Space Centre worth the travel, do you think? Because we've not been, and it does sound good.
It is good. I mean, we were there 5 hours. It can get quite busy, can get quite stressful. I would say it's more a child thing than an adult thing. I was expecting it to be more sort of museum-y, where it was actually more sort of hands-on and interactive, and there was just like 5-year-old little boys just going mental everywhere, pressing all the buttons and trying all the outfits on, and it was good. My children loved it. My oldest one was a little bit more into it. She's 10 because she wanted to like read a lot of things and understand more about space travel and things. The twins just wanted to just run around and just bash everything and turn all the lights on. And but I wouldn't go if it was just adults, because it would just be just headache, I think, just all day. But yeah, it's worth a trek. And the thing is with Leicester as well is it's kind of in the middle of everything, and it's just off the motorway. So it's fairly easy for most people to get to, really. I mean, it only took us maybe 2 hours from here.
Oh.
So yeah, it's worth the trip if you're into space. Into space sort of things, yeah, it's worth a trip. Yeah, Ali would probably like it. There's a little bit. I don't think there was a lot of fan fiction. There wasn't. There was a little bit about science fiction and the history of how we as a culture interpreted space travel and things like that. But there was a lot of what you have to do to be an astronaut, the sort of tests you would undergo, how you would be chosen to be an astronaut, what sort of conditions the astronauts would work in. You got to look at the suits and go in the shuttle and things like that, and a lot of things to press that made noises. And the planetarium afterwards was brilliant. There was a film in the planetarium called We Are Aliens, and you just sat and laid back, and this film just came over your head, and it was if you travel sick, it's probably not so good. But yeah, I'm a little bit, and it was a bit disorientating, but it was good. Yeah, we had a really good time. Yeah, like I say, a bit stressful. But, you know, going away with 4 children's always stressful, isn't it? So, as Joy will know.
Was it your children or was it everybody else's children?
No, just my 4. Me and my 4 and my mother-in-law. But there was, I think, National Space Centre have an annual pass system going on. So I think anybody it was half term, it was a rainy day, anybody who had an annual passport, brilliant, will go to the Space Centre. And it was just absolutely rammed. And I mean, we got there at 11, and the car park was already full. The queue for the food was an hour. It was just, I mean, it took us 45 minutes to get in, but we were there sort of 5 or 6 hours. So you know, it's good value in that respect, and you can see why people would buy an annual pass to somewhere like that, especially 4 days like that. I think we just picked the wrong day.
And was the parking free?
Parking was free, yeah. It was for us because we ended up having to park on a side street a bit away. Yeah, but it is free, but it is limited. There's about 400 spaces, which is probably, to be honest, on a normal day enough. But there must have been a couple of thousand people easily in there on Monday. Easily, so it was good. Had a good time. Have you been anywhere? You went to Legoland, Joy?
Yeah, well, Legoland, the resort's actually closed. Opens March the 13th. But yeah, but the hotel is open anyway, and they have a special discounted rate because the park's not open. And they had a special builders week, so they put on extra activities and stuff. And I thought that was better because if the park was open, you'd be just in the park, so you paid for the hotel and you wouldn't really be in the hotel. So that was nice. There's a bit gutted you can't take any photos of the pool. They've got this pirate pool with a seesaw in the pool, and you know, pirate ships and a Lego pirate, and oh, it's amazing. It needs a bit of fixing and a bit of work, to be honest, but you know but it's still really good, and it's small, but for a hotel, you know. So yeah, and lots of Lego everywhere, obviously, and I just thought it was really good value. The staff were really good. My little boy wasn't very well, and he was actually sick in the restaurant on the last day, and they were just really good. And they didn't, you know, my husband's one of those really good blokes anyway, and he feels bad about stuff, and they just made him feel like it wasn't a problem and it was fine, and you know, is he okay, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm really impressed. So
yeah, Mia would like to go and see Legoland, and I've always heard mixed reviews about it. But I think it's one of those places that you have to go and see for yourself, because she's really into building stuff. I don't know if she'd be interested in the actual fairground bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into sort of the building and things, I find the Legoland Discovery Centres are quite good for that, because you can go and get really hands-on, and they'll teach you how to build. You do like a master class with the builder and things like that, and you can actually go and put your card on a track and test it. And yeah, it's more theme park and ride, isn't it? The actual Legoland itself in Windsor.
I think
we've got a Discovery Centre up in Manchester, which is say more hands-on really.
But even that's changing, isn't it? We went to the Discovery Centre when the little one was a baby, and he's nearly 6 now, so what, about 5 years ago? And then we went the other week because they did the Ninjago premiere, so we trekked up to Manchester, and there's loads more rides in there now. There's like 3, 4 rides in there now, where before there was just the one, and there was more building, and there used to be a great big like swimming pool that you could just full of Lego that even an adult sort of jump in, and now it's these tiny little red, blue, green and yellow things that a child can just about fit in. And so that
we loved the Lego pit. Yeah, there's a big Lego pit in the middle, like a big ball pool, but it was Lego.
Yeah,
and you just jump in it. Yeah. Oh, what a shame. We like that one.
Yeah, no, there's a soft play area, big soft play area. There's Olivia's house from Lego Friends, and there's more rides in there. So and they've got their little driving range, bit similar to Legoland Windsor, but a lot smaller. But I was just like, it just felt like it was trying to be Windsor, and it was like, I liked the fact it was different and it was more building.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, when we went, it was kind of a mix of rides and a mix of buildings, so you could sort of do a little bit of each, which is good. But like you said, we actually liked the building things more than we liked the rides, because the rides you can go on any theme park really.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. I'm not going to go all that way just to go on a ride. I can go down the road and do that, or we can wait till the fair comes to town. But if it's more about building, then I'll be more inclined to go.
Yeah, Manchester's a long way from you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it's like 2 hours tops. So.
London is doable for us because it's about an hour and a half by train, and then a half an hour wherever we're going to be going. So it's a 2-hour journey. We can cope with that, even with the youngest. She's been going since she's like 3, 4. So, yeah.
I think it depends when you go as well, because like if you get Halloween, they have the brick or treat event and stuff. So they have like building pumpkins and stuff, and you can display them and things. So there is a bit more of the building at Windsor then as well. But we've got passes this year, so we'll be getting a lot.
I'm gonna say actually those. I mean, the problem with Legoland is it's quite dear. I think it is out of the budget of a lot of people. But those annual passes, have you got the full Merlin passes, Joy?
Yeah, they were £99 each, and then they took off the cost of what we'd paid to get into Legoland.
Yeah, so they're quite good value, aren't they?
It was really good value. So yeah. And I haven't
everywhere in one. You can try and get everywhere in 1 year. They're quite good, aren't they? Because I know you can get into Two Swords with those, or at Castle, Legoland Discovery Centre, Alton Towers, loads of places, isn't it?
Yeah, all London and the London Eye, Sea Life Centres, the dungeons, all sorts.
Yeah, we could have done with one of those a couple of years ago, where we just sort of did everything all in 1 year. So.
But we've just saved loads anyway. You get money off the magnets. Every time we go anywhere, we buy a photo magnet, put it on our fridge. Our fridge is absolutely covered with them. When we went to the fireworks at Legoland, it gave us money off the food, and because it can get quite really crowded after the fireworks, they had obviously sort of dealt with this issue, and they said that if you had Merlin passes, your kids could eat free in the restaurant after a certain time. And even though I thought it'd be per adult, but it wasn't. All 3 of our kids ate free with the adults, and then because of our passes, we got money off the food. So for 5 of us, it cost like about £12 for food after, so it was really good. I think even McDonald's would have been more than that, wouldn't it? Not that my children eat
Yes. No, but you do find yourself. I mean, I've got 4 children, and when we go out, even as a 5, I would protect out of us, and as a 6, it can get really expensive, and you do find yourself going, do you know what? I just wish I'd just gone to McDonald's, as rich as it is, and as much as I've had one already last week or whatever. It's just so tempting because you can't afford to be going and paying, you know, £10–12 a head in a restaurant for a standard, what is effectively a burger and chips and Coke, which you could have got at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because some of the impact food is just extortionate.
Yeah, when we go to London, I always buy our train tickets a month ahead, or at least well ahead of when we're going to travel. And then we used to try and go to science museums, I think it's free. And then I take a packed lunch. And we even, because we go quite early, we even have our we take our breakfast, like some sandwiches or something, and eat that on the train. Because food, it can be as much as 50 quid for far, you know. Well, there's only 3 children with me, but that's quite a chunk of money if you're going to pay to go in somewhere that's free. So yeah.
Yeah, I am a big advocate of pack-ups wherever you go, really, because even if you get there and you think actually the restaurant ain't too bad, you've got something for snacks, things like that. When we got to the Space Centre on Monday, the queue for the food was over an hour just to get to the sandwich bar, and then obviously from there then you had to go get a table. And there was all saying, oh, I'm hungry, and I went, no, that's fine. Got a bag of crisps out my bag each, gave them all a bag of crisps, said, back to your lunch, we'll come back at 2:30 when it's died down. I'm not taking an hour and a half out of a 5-hour day to spend queuing for a sandwich, you know. So I said, well, we just might as well just sit here. We just basically sat on the floor, got all the juice, got the crisps out, we all sat down there. And then we came back at 2:30, and it was more sort of a reasonable 10–15 minutes by then. And you think, well, that's, you know, it's not about the money so much as well. It's about the time you have to take to find somewhere and get somewhere sorted, and it just takes a lot of time out.
Well, because I find that my youngest was like, we're just about to get on the train. I'm hungry. Oh, I'm just about to get on the train. So yeah, having food in your backpack ready. So right, there you go. And yeah, because it could be about like £1 for a packet of crisps. I'm not paying £1.
God.
The 12p each at Aldi, packets of crisps.
And they're only half full anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they're always in some exotic flavour that they've managed to get, and it's brilliant. And they go, yeah, but kids won't eat that, you know. Some random flavour. Yeah. At least you know they'll eat it if you take it from home, don't they? So.
That's like sandwiches and that. Yeah, we try and buy the meal deals and stuff at Tesco's or somewhere. And, you know, if we're out, and it's just a cheap way of doing it. But it's like trying to find just a plain ham sandwich. They've all got, you know, sweet corn and mayonnaise. My kid don't want that. Thank you very much. Or something even more exotic. I might just want a plain old ham sandwich.
Well, I can't even do that because my oldest has got an egg allergy. And all the sandwiches have mayonnaise in them. So only a few places now do vegan sandwiches, which I don't know, unless he likes, which he actually is quite good. He is quite good varied in his sandwiches. But yeah, it's a bit of a minefield.
So what have we got coming up this next week then? Anything exciting?
Training for the saxophone.
Oh, that's next week. That's week after. That's week after. I mean, in the this Sunday, I'm doing my first road race. I've got a 5K on Sunday, which I don't know if I'm more worried about that or more worried about the 6 hours at Wembley the week after. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to make it's a very local. We've got a new road. Sorry.
Quicker. I would have thought the race would be quicker. It'd be over and done with, wouldn't it?
It will, yeah, but then you've got to run it, and the problem is it's on a new road that's opening near me, which is from our village to the next town. We've faced a lot of disruption, so I said, right, we've faced disruption now for a year. We're going to run this race, and then I realised very quickly after I'd signed up that probably all my neighbours were going to come out and watch it. So I'm going to have to do something, and it said in the paper, you know, the race is open to anybody. We don't care if you do it in 20 minutes or 40 minutes. We want you to join in. And I'm thinking, blimey, 40 minutes for me is an aspiration, not like the back end. You know, I'll be glad to do this thing in 40 minutes. I hope after an hour they're not taking the cones away because I won't know where I'm going. But yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. But at the same time, I'm just very concerned about making a total arse of myself in front of the entire village, really.
Are you wearing something very noticeable so they'll know
No,
it's you?
no. They'll know it's me. They'll know it's me. I'll have the bright red face and I'll be crying by about 4 kilometres. But yeah, it should be all right.
What's that in miles?
About 3 and a bit.
Mm.
It's not too bad, but it's not. You know, you can walk it, but do you really want to walk it? You know, when everybody's watching, you have to run it. You've got to keep up. It's just embarrassing if not. But I should be all right. I'm making about 40 minutes at the moment. I went out the other day and did 40 minutes, but now I hurt, so I'm going to stop now for a couple of days, and then just try and go out on Sunday and not make a fool of myself. So, Joy, what you got coming up this week, Joy?
No, little and still. I say since the incident at Legoland, he just keeps being sick, so he's still off ill. So all plans are out the window. Our bathroom is disgusting. Since we bought the house, it's not us that's made it disgusting. It was the people before, but it's just other things have been a priority. So we are slowly making that our priority, and we've started with we've had an extractor fan fitted. And now we're sort of getting rid of the 20 million layers of gloss off the door frame and stuff, and just slowly getting there with that, and kids' homework, catching up with work, making sure they can read and do maths and that sort of thing, and just generally back at school again.
So back to reality really this week.
Yeah, I've got nothing planned. Just to catch up all the washing I didn't get done when things was broken, but I haven't really blogged properly for ages, so the kids are not here tomorrow, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll have the house up together so I can sit down and get some blogging done. Yeah, that's really it really. And I'm thinking about the garden. My dad came round when he was doing the machine, talking about getting on my ledge plot sorted, but we had hard frost this morning, so we can't actually dig anything. But yeah, sort of like getting the seeds out and saying, right, I'm going to plant that. Spring's around the corner.
Well, we're finally getting ourselves into gear for sorting the garden out, because we've got this little patch of garden at the bottom, which when we moved in, it was all allotment, but we cordoned this bit off, made this bit allotment. We had really good intentions, and then the children came along, and I have just had no time whatsoever. And if weeds were profitable, would be minted by now. And they are like 6-7 foot high, some of them. And he's gone in this week and gutted it, and hopefully we might have a bit more of an extended lawn. I'm just sick of looking at it. I'm thinking the neighbours must be looking at it, thinking what they're going to do with that garden. They've been in 12 years. There must be something they can do with it. But yeah, good intentions have just gone out the window, but these things happen, don't they?
When we moved in, there was nothing it's never ever had any cultivation at all, as far as we can see, because it's a council house. But no one's ever done anything to it. We've put decking down, compost heap, and then I've got lots of plants and pots down the side of the house, which have all got weeds in. And there's just bits and pieces from like toys and that scattered around. There's like what do you call them, bean bags and everything, and it's just looks a mess. So I really want to go out there and just to tidy it up and get all the stuff from like the summer back in. Yeah, so that's something else that needs to be done. And look like I'm actually going to do something with it this year.
We say that every year.
I know, but we never had a garden living at the flat, and we've always wanted, when we were showed the house, garden. It isn't a massive garden, but it's big enough for what we want. The kids can't really play in it. Kieran's got lots of allergies and he can't touch grass, so we've got to get rid of all the grass anyway. So we've always wanted to grow stuff, and last year we did lots of plants, but we did tomatoes, and they really liked that. And then every day, the youngest went out and said, "Oh, can I water the plants?" So, and Kieran's really interested in having edible stuff anyway. So that's our big thing this year, to get a vegetable plot going. But yeah, it's more than what anybody else has done to the gardens. So yay.
Right, have we got anything else to add then before we shoot off? Because we're just about 30 minutes now.
Well, we've had parents' evening, but apart from that, you all had parents' evenings?
No, not yet. My middle one was saying about that the reports are coming out soon. Because they're at a new school, I don't know what kind of system they do compared to the old one. But it sounds like they do twice a year, like their old school does as well. So that'll be interesting because they've only been there for a few weeks. So it'd be nice to see how they're settling in. But my youngest still got no friends.
Oh.
He doesn't play with anybody at lunchtime. Because I ask her, sort of like, oh, who you play with? And I just, no one plays with me. So what do you do? She goes, I just walk around the thing. I thought,
Haven't they got a system?
well, apparently they had buddies at the beginning, and Caitlin has made lots of friends. Well, she was quite lucky because of where we are. There's lots of kids who live in the street, so in the summer holidays made lots of friends. But nobody in the street is of Mia's age. And she had lots of friends at her old school and was really, really popular. And nobody wants to know her. And I thought that's quite... Because when I was first concerned about it a few weeks ago, the teacher said, oh, we'll talk to the MDSA and get her to make sure she's okay. And I thought, well, shouldn't be saying something in class, when it's not nice to bully people, because apparently she was being bullied. They were pushing her over and telling her to go away. And I thought, well, perhaps you ought to have a class talk. But I'm going to talk to them today to see what's going on, because Caitlin went through this, saying nobody was a friend, when actually she did. So I don't know whether Mia's making a big thing of it because she wants to go back to her old school, or it is actually true that she hasn't got any friends. So, because, yeah, we'll find out.
I think it does take time, though, because when we were in schools, it wasn't straight away. It wasn't bullied or anything, but these kids have formed friendships, and it's quite hard to fit in. But now they're fine. So
because when she was off with chicken pox, I went up to the school to meet Caitlin. I didn't actually go into the school, but I went outside, and they have swimming on a Monday. And this coach pulled up with all her friends, came off, and they said, "Oh, Kate, hi Mia, you got chicken pox," and they waved at her. So to me, I thought, oh, she's fine. She's got friends. But apparently she hasn't. So I don't know. I don't know if it's her perception or she's just, I don't know. Yeah.
Right, well, anyway, we shall get off then if that's it. Mm-hmm. And that was Friday at 11. For good or for bad. And we'll see you all next week. I say 11.
11.